Hey, how you doing this morning? Bob Balian here, co-lead pastor, Bayside, Midtown. Hope you're enjoying our series, Pray 40. We're calling our church Prayside Church during the series, and I hope this is helpful to you. This week, we're talking about kneeling like giants, and I want to read a scripture for you. It's from Hebrews 12, and it says this: "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us." People in the Old Testament who were prayer warriors, who demonstrated some things that we need to model in our prayer lives. People like Daniel, like Hannah, like Jonah, even at some point after the fall, like Adam and Eve. These are things we need to take things from these people and incorporate them in our prayer walks. There's a few things I want to list just really quickly. Getting in the right posture. In other words, emotionally and spiritually being in a position to hear from God. Prayer is not a one-way communication. We need to hear from God. We need to get in alignment with His will. The second thing is releasing our pride. We can't hold on to our pride and at the same time get in God's will and get in alignment with His will. We have to release our pride. Third thing is realizing our need to persevere in prayer. There's the parable about the widow who had the child and wanted a case resolved by a judge, and she kept knocking on the judge's door to the point where the judge said, "You are about to wear me out. I'm going to give you what you want just because you've been so persistent." That judge is a picture of God, and that widow is a picture of us. Be persistent in your prayers. And finally, recognizing God's reliability. I want to tell you a story really quickly. It's a story that Raleigh Washington tells. He's a great civic leader and author. He tells a story about a prayer warrior. She prayed out loud in her backyard on her patio. She didn't have much, but she always knew God would be faithful to her. And her neighbor was a stone cold atheist, and he was cold-hearted to anybody who was a Christian, anybody who was a believer in any God. And so every time he would hear her praying out loud on her patio, he'd poke his head over the fence and he would riddle her. He would knock her. He would mock her. "What are you doing praying to a God that doesn't exist? You're laughable." So the atheist came up with a brilliant idea. His idea was, I'm going to go out and listen to her next prayer, and then I'm going to provide whatever the prayer is, and then let her know with surprise that I was the one who provided it and not God. So she's outside one day praying. She says, "God, please meet my need for groceries. I don't have any food. I don't have any groceries. Can you please be faithful and take care of me?" He hears this. He goes out to the store. He buys $400 worth of groceries. He puts all the bags on her patio and waits for her to come outside. She came outside praising God immediately when she saw all the groceries. "God, thank you so much." He pops out of her planter through some bushes and says, "See, I told you, you dummy. God doesn't exist. I bought those groceries. Your prayers are for naught." At that point, the lady ran out into the street, jumping for joy, praising God even louder than she ever had. And he ran out there frustrated, thinking, why is she happier now after I told her that there is no God? He ran out there and said, "Lady, what's wrong with you? I bought the groceries. Why are you so happy?" She said, well, first of all, she had to catch her breath. She was running so hard. Once she caught her breath, she said, "You know what? I knew God was going to take care of my needs. I just didn't know He was going to get the devil to do it." God, couple things about God. He's a gracious God. He's a merciful God. And God will use whoever He needs to use to answer our prayers as long as they are in His will. You be persistent in your prayer life. Pray 40. We'll see you soon.